Two trains collided in Zhejiang a few days ago, and passengers were trapped for 3 hours without ventilation. A male passenger broke a window to help others and himself. He was taken away and scolded by the police, but was regarded as a hero by other passengers. Should the window have been broken? This incident has sparked heated discussions on the Chinese internet in recent days, and the official report has been continuously questioned. On the evening of July 2nd, at Dongxiao Station in Jinhua City, Zhejiang Province, a freight train collided with the K1373 passenger train passing by, causing the K1473 train to be stranded at the station for more than 3 hours. The video circulated on the internet showed that because there was no air conditioning in the carriage and it was extremely hot, many passengers were sweating profusely, and their clothes were soaked with sweat. Many passengers had already experienced symptoms such as difficulty breathing and dizziness. One passenger said,
"I really can't stand so many people. I feel dizzy."
A young man in black, holding an emergency hammer for breaking windows, first communicated with the conductor, hoping to open the door for passengers to get off the train to get some fresh air. The man in black said to the conductor,
"Just let's get off, right? Otherwise, the glass will be broken."
As communication failed, the man took a hammer and smashed a window glass. The train attendant tried to stop him, but the man still hit the glass hard and finally knocked a hole in it. A passenger at the scene shouted, "Good! Good! Hero! Hero!" After the window glass was smashed, several train police arrived in the carriage, and some staff blocked the window to prevent passengers from getting off the train. An old man asked the train police to smash the window glass on the other side to allow air circulation, but received no response. In response to this accident, the Jinhua Train Management Section of Shanghai Railway reported on the evening of the 2nd that there were no casualties in the incident and expressed deep apologies for the impact of the accident on passengers' travel. Because the man who smashed the window was taken away by the police, it triggered a strong backlash from public opinion. The Railway Public Security Bureau responded on the 3rd that the man was not detained, but only criticized and educated. However, many netizens questioned whether the railway department should reward the young man instead of the so-called criticism and education. The situation is urgent, and the lives of hundreds of people would be in danger in such an airtight environment. On the 3rd, a passenger who witnessed the incident said that he was in the number 16 sleeper car, and the train stopped for more than 3 hours, and the train without air conditioning was very hot and stuffy. Adults can still bear it, but many children can't stand it. In the middle and late stages of the wait, a crew member brought ice water, ate treasure porridge, and paper to wipe sweat for the passengers. The passenger said that the final destination was changed to Changsha, and they did not receive any other disposal plans, but only got the ticket refunded without handling fees. In the end, he bought a ticket to return to his destination by himself. Another passenger said that he was in the number 4 carriage, and the window smashing occurred in the number 3 carriage. It happened about 2 hours after the stop. I had communicated with the crew twice before, and it was not until the 3rd time that it was smashed. The passenger said that the carriage had only one small window and was very stuffy. They hoped to open the door, but were not allowed to do so. There was no ventilation, and I, a young man, was short of oxygen. On July 3rd, Mr. Liu, a passenger on the train, told China National Radio, "It was so hot on the train that no one could stand it. Some people got heat stroke and were helped by the train staff." Mr. Liu recalled that the accident was a bit like sudden braking after a collision, and then the air conditioning on the train was turned off. According to reports from the Yangtze Evening News and Dahe Daily, a passenger interviewed by a reporter said, "I was trapped in the train for 3 hours. The air in the car was not circulating, the temperature kept rising, and I felt very suffocated." Many passengers told reporters that after the train stopped due to the accident, the air was completely stagnant, indicating that the train's emergency system failed or was not activated. Obviously, the train's emergency system is not perfect. A lawyer also said, "I personally think that the man's behavior is emergency avoidance, so he does not need to compensate for public property afterwards." Emergency avoidance refers to the act of taking actions that have to harm smaller interests to protect larger legal rights and interests when public interests, personal rights, and other rights such as life are threatened.
It's all covered in today's China Truths.
Shenzhen, China, once hailed as the Silicon Valley of Asia, has become a focal point of concern as its post-COVID economic decline deepens. Observers note that the mass exodus of foreign and Taiwanese companies has dealt a crushing blow to local manufacturing and service sectors. Factory shutdowns, soaring unemployment, and a city blanketed in despair now define the landscape. The jobless are left with no choice but to sleep in public spaces. Reality of Shenzhen's downfall, social media views and on-site observations. Recently, social media has exploded with footage and testimonies revealing Shenzhen's deepening economic crisis. The well-known blogger 996 Rainmaker, with 545,000 followers, posted a raw, unfiltered video showing people sleeping overnight at Longhua bus station, in public squares, parks, and on sidewalks. In the clip, one weary passerby shared that he had drifted through Shenzhen for over 20 years, often sleeping under bridges or in parks, and now he has no choice but to rest in the open square. Another popular voice, Shenzhen, the whistleblower sister, painted an even starker picture. She described a city in freefall, foreign capital fleeing, Taiwanese firms relocating, factories and shopping malls shutting down, white-collar workers unemployed, and people reduced to sleeping on the streets. She noted that Shenzhen's once bustling streets are eerily quiet, subway trains are nearly empty, and prime CBD office towers are turning into vacant shells. Even once thriving Starbucks and McDonald's outlets in the heart of Futian have shuttered and pulled out of China. Shenzhen News echoed the alarm, analyzing how Shenzhen's rise from fishing village to global tech hub was built on decades of partnership with Taiwanese and foreign capital. Now, the industrial zones of Longhua, Bao'an, and Pingshan lie in gloom. Equipment from Taiwanese factories is being packed up and moved en masse to Vietnam, India, and Indonesia, leaving waves of local workers jobless in their wake. She further reported that the area around Luohu Square is now a sleeping ground for stranded migrant workers. At night, people lie on flattened cardboard under bridges, at subway entrances, and behind office buildings in the Futian CBD. Among them, unemployed programmers, construction workers, and food delivery riders. They roam the city by day in search of jobs and endure sleepless nights outdoors. Many survive on instant noodles and tap water just to stretch their dwindling savings. Public records show that Futian CBD is one of mainland China's most prominent business districts, home to more than 20 skyscrapers over 200 meters tall. The trend of foreign and Taiwanese capital withdrawal has triggered discussions. Since the pandemic, a wave of commentary from both international media and Chinese independent outlets has drawn attention to the accelerating retreat of foreign capital from China and the country's declining allure as an investment destination. One striking case, a 38-year-old Hong Kong-funded home appliance manufacturer in Shenzhen announced its shutdown on August 18, 2023, citing an unworkable business environment post-pandemic. Labor rights advocate Han Dongfang warned that since 2023, bankruptcies have become the new norm among Chinese enterprises. He cautioned against assuming a recovery is near, saying, "The situation is like a tsunami reaching shore. You don't know when it will recede." In September, the US-based think tank CSIS, Center for Strategic and International Studies, published a report titled "Diversification Rather Than Decoupling: Taiwan's Industry Responds to Geostrategic Risks." According to the report, 57.4% of Taiwanese companies had either begun withdrawing or were actively planning to exit mainland China. The survey, which involved 610 Taiwanese firms at the end of 2023, cited three main reasons: soaring labor costs, 33%, rising risk of supply chain disruption, 25.9%, and shifting investment policies, 25.2%. The study also noted that Taiwanese firms are far more likely than companies from other countries to consider a complete pullout from China. Fear and flight caused by harsh government policies. Shenzhen, the whistleblower, launched a sharp critique of the Shenzhen authorities' response to the unfolding crisis. She argued that officials have done little to win back foreign investment or encourage Taiwanese companies to return. Instead of slashing taxes and fees to ease pressure on struggling businesses or loosening regulations to revive orders and capital flow, she claimed the authorities are doing the opposite, tightening their grip. She pointed out that corporate exits now face mounting red tape. Taiwanese firms, for instance, must go through layer upon layer of filings and approvals to withdraw, while foreign exchange settlements are bogged down by intensified scrutiny and delays. Some entrepreneurs tried to quietly shut down and leave, only to run into walls. A lot of bosses planned to quietly pull out and shut their factories down, but overnight they were blocked, she said. Some Taiwanese and foreign owners had to dismantle their equipment and ship it out in the dead of night. They knew if they waited even a day, they'd be trapped. She didn't hold back. This isn't an international city anymore. It's a high-cost, high-pressure, high unemployment trap with no hope, low wages, and zero security. This city is bleeding out. The government is desperately clinging to what little life is left, as if trying to nail people to the ground. No walking, no running, no complaining, and absolutely no truth-telling. 58.com just cut 10,000 jobs. Another shockwave in the collapse of China's once thriving private sector. As China's economic slowdown deepens, mass layoffs are spreading across industries. Recently, two formerly booming companies made headlines by announcing massive layoffs and bankruptcy, stoking fears that China may be sliding into a full-scale economic depression. 58.com, a household name in online services once known for helping people find homes and jobs, has now become the symbol of decline. According to multiple mainland media outlets, several employees revealed that 58.com initiated sudden mass layoffs without warning, affecting an estimated 20% to 30% of its workforce. Most of those laid off came from technical and local services departments. One insider reported that 40% of their department was cut, and some teams were dismantled entirely. Estimates suggest up to 10,000 employees could be affected in this single round. Professor Sun Guoxiang of Taiwan's Nanhua University warned, policy shifts and tightened regulation in key industries have pushed up operating costs and uncertainty. If this trend spreads across sectors, it signals a sweeping structural downturn. The economy is running out of steam, enterprises are suffocating, and both employment and consumer confidence are collapsing. Zhang Pinchao, president of the American Kaiku Real Estate Investment Company, blamed the deeper cause. The root is the system itself. Ever since Xi Jinping shifted left, favoring state-owned enterprises over private ones, it's felt like a return to the Cultural Revolution, a planned economy, the big pot of rice model. Dynamic private companies, the real drivers of China's economy, are being choked to death. At the same time, the parent company of Neja Auto, Hosan New Energy, filed for bankruptcy. According to business filings, the Intermediate People's Court of Zhejiang, has accepted the case, and 1 billion shares have been frozen. Professor Xie Tian of the University of South Carolina's Aiken Business School explained, "This isn't just a company issue, it's a macroeconomic shift. The Chinese auto industry saw an EV boom, with 200-300 companies springing up in a short time. But with blind expansion and no demand, a wave of failures is inevitable. The winter of China's economy isn't over, it's getting colder." Many now believe this could signal a coming collapse in the capital chain across China's EV market. Zhang Pinchao issued a darker warning. The bursting of the EV bubble is just the beginning. As the collapse continues, mass unrest, similar to the peasant uprisings in history, could re-emerge. China's largest demographic remains rural farmers, and they are being hit the hardest. The fall of two major firms has sparked concern that China may be entering a true economic depression. Professor Xie Tian added, "This is not a soft landing. The entire social and economic system could break down, rising unemployment, collapsing prices, and a widespread societal unraveling." The CCP is doing everything to suppress the truth online, but this recession is real, and we're already on the road to depression. Netizens are mourning the downfall of China's private economy. Entire industries are shutting down, while the official narrative still talks about high-quality employment, even as the unemployment rate climbs. Sun Guoxiang warned, "This economic downturn will leave deep scars on Chinese society. Living standards will fall, wealth gaps will widen, social tensions will erupt, public services like education and healthcare will come under strain, and there will be brain drain and mental health crises." Fresh graduates are feeling hopeless, watching famous companies fall one after another. For them, the future looks darker by the day.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.